Welcome back to Grid Gym. Welcome back, guys. We're going to get into this today. We're talking self-talk and why it's more important how you talk than what you say. Okay? How you take it, how you judge it, how you think about it. It's much more important. So we come here every day, every weekday at 12:30. We come here every weekday at 12:30 talking about mindset, health, nutrition, exercise, recovery. These are areas that I've been studying since 1997. I've been interested in this stuff before then. I'm an extremely analytical person, but I've been studying this stuff obsessively since 1997 when I got my first book from my grandma. In fact, who's always been kind of a point of safety for me. She's an incredible, just absolutely incredible. I know everybody thinks their grandma is the best. I don't know if my grandma's the best. I don't know whose grandma is the best, but I know that my grandma is a big deal to me. Those you can feel safe around that wanted you to be who you were, and I was very different from the rest of my family. I grew up in a family of extreme extroverts, and I'm actually very naturally introverted, which but today we're talking about self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? And this is a really easy one. This is something that most people think is really easy, and it's not. It is not simple. It is not easy. It is extremely complicated. You have to be absurdly aware of what's going on, and you have to be absurdly aware of how you're talking to yourself, what your mental state is, and you have to have a map to get you from that point of fear and anxiety and nervousness and worry, embarrassment, all that stuff. You gotta have a map to get you out of that map. And what are you supposed to do with the talk that's going on inside your head? Because most people say, always make it a positive statement. But is it that simple? You just make it a thing? Self-talk, I think, is a little bit like we gotta take it another step. We gotta take it another step to figure out what's going on here. For instance, how much do you weigh? This is one of those questions that people really come at, like they think this isn't. I think it's a question you shouldn't ask people. It's mean to ask this question. It's offensive. It is an objective reality. How much do you weigh? It's like, hey, you have skin. I didn't say you had bad, good skin. I didn't say that you had saggy skin, loose skin, tight skin, amazing skin, glowing skin. I didn't tell you what kind. I did not say, hey, do you have skin? How much do you weigh? And it's an objective thing. It's your relationship with the mass of the earth. That's all it is. But people, if you walked up, I almost guarantee you that in our society today that breeds this victim attitude, this victim mindset, and most people would be like, how dare you? It's objective. It's just a weight. It's a pound. Like if you go to Mars or you go to the moon, you're going to weigh a little bit less. You're still the same you still have the same fat content. You still have the same character. You still have the same courage, guts, beauty, everything. Or deep down ugliness. Maybe you got some of that. I don't actually think that there's a deep down ugliness. I think we're all like, once you go down deep enough, you take the most worthless, most awful, most terrible people in the world. I think deep down, they really do have something amazing in them. It's a bunch of layers of bullshit on top of that has become their identity that fools the rest of the world that they're not this beautiful little 3-year-old that they once were. But, like, how much do you weigh? Is that a negative or a positive statement? It's neither. Why put the judgment on the statement? That's what this entire video is about. Why put the judgment on the statement? Why say, how much do you weigh as a negative or a positive? It's a lot of things come down to this. It's neither. The objective reality is that it just is. Okay? There's a lot of these. One that I get on a fairly regular basis is, you're so immature. I'm like, I'll tell you, this is how I do every single one of these, and it's not reverse psychology or anything else. I say, thank you. Thank you. That is the biggest compliment that you could possibly, one of the biggest compliments you could possibly give me is that I'm immature. That's a step up, not a step down. I have no interest in going and being a normal adult. That sounds terrible. Look at how wise kids are. Kids are present in their everyday. Kids are sad for a couple minutes when their friend goes away, and then they're happy and in love with the world again. You know, I watched this thing today. Somebody posted this. It was a mom. I know this mom. She has just an extreme victim mindset. And it's sad because she's actually a wonderful person, So I'm going to sound a little judgy here. I don't mean to, because I think that she's an amazing person. She's gorgeous. She has multiple kids, and I get it, that parents are scared that their kids are going to be abducted, prerequisited enough. But there's a social experiment video going around on the internet right now where a guy walks up to the mom, asks how often they talk about talking to strangers, and he's got a dog, so a puppy, and he walks up to and the mom says, my kid will never talk to you. And then he walks up to the kid, and the kid does talk to him because they want to play with the puppy. And then he says, I got a bunch of other puppies in my car. Do you want to see that puppy? And then the little kid walks off with them. End of experiment, right? Trying to, like, this is a scare tactic. This is feeding into that bullshit. Not happen very often. Look up like how often this happens. If I have a little kid and I'm sitting there watching them at the playground and somebody walks up with that dog, I'm going to keep an eye on that person taking my kid away with this puppy. But I want my little girl to talk to every single stranger. Strangers are great, but you think that strangers are bad. Like, that's ridiculous. That's just a misnomer. It's a dumb thing. Strangers are good. Strangers are wonderful. You meet some of the best people that you ever met in your life were strangers. Everybody that you ever met in your life was at one time a stranger. Strangers are great, but you're immature. Why would I be happy to be called immature? Because little kids get it. You know, like a 3-year-old gets it. Everything that we try to do in our life, I really think that everything in the spiritual journey, in the mindset journey, everything, we're trying to unlearn all the crap that the world taught us, to be scared, to not have what you want, that you're supposed to, that you should. And it's all garbage. It's all garbage. They gave you their truth instead of your truth. They gave you their fear-based truth instead of the one how you saw the world as this great, big, beautiful place. You know, that rainy days were okay and that sunshine days were better. There's nothing wrong with that. Little kids get it, that it's live within that. They're creative. They can spontaneously play and do all the stuff that we don't do because we're too busy stuck in a job that we hate. You know, little kids get it. I think little kids are going to give you everything that you want. The world isn't responsible for being nice to you, for loving you, for taking care of you. I think little kids just kind of understand that, you know, and that's the thing. Like, the world isn't going to do any of this for you. Like, that's the reality. No one's going to love you just because. You've got to love yourself and get that six-pack for you. No one's going to go and exercise for you. No one's going to eat for you. No one can go to the bathroom for you. So why do we think we can do all these other things to support you? It's your responsibility to do that. So why do I like it when people call me immature? Because I take responsibility for that. I'm glad that I'm immature because I'm more like those little kids, and I've worked really hard to be more like those little kids. So it's negative self-talk versus positive self-talk. Please click the share button, hit the like button if you like what's going on here. If you want to fill in, you want to share your experience with how you self-talk, because a lot of people are really nasty to themselves. We already know this. That Dove commercial that came out a few years ago, that was awesome. It's amazing how mean we are to us. And one of the things that when people are in here and they start saying that kind of stuff in front of me, I say, hey, can you stop for a second? I don't like it when people are mean to those that I care about. And right now, you're being pretty mean to you. So I'd like you to stop. Can you please stop? Because I don't like it when people are mean to someone that I care. So that's how I do it when I need to confront people, because I care about you. I don't care who you are, like some more than others, but I guarantee you, if you're here right now, believe me, I deeply care about you. I want everybody to live the experience that they want. You know, I think everybody deep down wants a certain experience in their life. There's a binding commonality within all of us. Every single one of us has a binding commonality. You know, we're interested in love. We're interested in relationships. Even if you're not a person, you don't get to get out of the relationship thing because we're mammals. Mammals have the mammalian brain is driven to be social on some level. I don't care, the most introverted person in the world, the hermit, there's a connection with something, a connection with the world, a connection with another animal, and a connection with another being. It desired something. And I lost track of it. Negative or positive self-talk, you don't, like, obviously, don't be nasty to yourself. How are you judging the statements that you are saying to you? You know, if you're saying, I got on the scale, if I got on the scale right now, I weigh 230 pounds. To most people, that sounds like a huge number. You know, most people, if they were 230 pounds, they'd be pissed. I'm okay with being 230 pounds because I'm 6 foot, got a fairly big frame, you know? And I'm a dude that's worked at it for a while. I've always been a big, strong guy. Being 230 pounds is completely fine with me. Now, if I was 5'4", and I probably wouldn't like being 230 pounds. But the world isn't going to give you sunshine, rainbows, and unicorns, and even if it does, they're gifts that you should appreciate. You know, the secret to all of this self-talk stuff that nobody seems to want to say, it's like everybody's asking for it, but the thing is, you have to create your own. You know, you have to create your own sunshine. You have to create your own rainbows. And you have to make yourself into your own unicorn. And by that, I mean, if you want an incredible life that's just outwardly, you have to become an anomaly, because normal is not having an incredible life right now. Right now in our society, there's divorce is extremely high, obesity is extremely high, emotional eating and stress eating is extremely high, stress-related disease, death from stress-related diseases is extremely high. Most heart attacks, even like we could even trace diabetes, cancers, everything back to stress levels. We are unhealthy on an extreme level, mentally and physically and nutritionally, and our recovery patterns are pretty poor. So what do we need to do? We need to look at our health. If you want to have an incredible life, you have to become an anomaly, and a unicorn is the anomaly in this situation. But you have to have the guts to do this. You know, the world doesn't give a shit. To chew you to pieces, you're gonna get rain every day. You're gonna hit with demons, haters, terrible relationships, a job you loathe, constant neediness to the external world. The external world is not where the solutions are. The external world is not where the solutions are. So if you're reaching for Facebook to make you happy, or your spouse to make you happy, or your girlfriend or your boyfriend to make you happy, or you want mommy to pat you on the back, well, mommy's not gonna always be there. You have to look internal. You have to look internal in here. And a lot of that is with your self-talk. How you actually talk to yourself is how you think of yourself. So 2 things, you can talk to yourself nicer, and you can listen to what you say. Not only that, you can stop judging the crap that you do say as bad. Who knows? You know, I say, like on here, I say, not stupid on this show fairly often. I probably shouldn't, because people misconstrue that. I don't mean that stupid in a negative way. I just mean, don't do that. That still sounds negative, doesn't it? Don't do that. The objective reality is that there are better ways to use those. You know, and maybe that's me communicating. If there's a better way to communicate that, I should use that, shouldn't I? But listen to yourself, and you will hear exactly what you think of you, to a certain extent, because now you're judging that statement. Was that positive or was that negative? I don't know. I don't know. I think most of the time it's neither. You know, I'm fat. Well, A, you have fingernails, but you don't say I am fingernails. You have fat on your body. I have fat on my body. Even those people that you see that are 8-packed, veiny, everything, just like look like they have no fat on the body, they have fat in their body. Are they fat too? You don't have to negatively say I'm fat. You could just be like, I have too much fat. It's an objective statement. There's no judgment there. Well, there's the judgment that it's like a concern, or a judgment that, you know, this is what it is, but it's not like judgmental that I'm a piece of shit because I'm fat. Like, that's silly. I have fat to lose. Now I'm going to go do it. What was I going to say? I'm looking over my notes. But don't judge the statement. You know, like for instance, like backhanded compliments. Backhanded compliments, I think, are some of the funniest things. Like, If you're doing a backhand, if you give somebody a backhanded compliment, or somebody gives me a backhanded compliment, is it negatively them being a piece of shit, passive with their passive aggressiveness, or if that they gave me a compliment? I tend to take it like, oh, thank you, that's wonderful. I wasn't always this way though. I used to take almost everything. Like, people told me something good, people told me something bad, people told me something in between. I took them all bad. You know, even with the social media stuff that we've done, where I'm starting to put out some of my opinions, put out some of my thoughts, some of the things that I've learned, no matter what, it's all going through my filter when I give it to you guys. So you have to put it through your filter. But I've learned some of this mindset stuff from some of the top people in the world that have studied this stuff for their entire lives. And it's amazing what just a few little quick switches can do. But is the backhanded compliment always bad? Is a regular compliment always good? Is a positive statement always positive? I don't know. I know you guys are kind of, I'll kind of, let me look through some of this stuff. Several years ago, I read something that's really stuck with me regarding marriage. Your spouse doesn't make you happy. You make yourself happy. Your spouse is a witness to your life and should be the cherry on top. That's something that stuck with me, at least. Yeah, I like that a lot. The way that I really like the statement, because a lot of people look at relationships, and believe I'm like the wrong person to talk with about relationships. I've had bad at relationships. All the personality tests tell me that I'm bad at relationships. Any relationship I've ever had, you say that's crazy. Try to find someone that would call me a friend before 2010. I bet you it doesn't exist. Actually, I would go closer to 2014. It doesn't exist. I had to do massive amounts of work on my mindset to even be able to accept relationships. But the one of them that I really like is switching from the statement, I'll take care of you for me if you take care of me for you. Okay, it puts the need on the other side. So that's a needy relationship. The flip side of that is, I'll take care of me for you if you take care of you for me. Okay, so it's basically getting into that love yourself first mindset stuff, which you have to do. You have nothing to share if you don't love you first. We're kind of getting into relationship stuff here, which I could go on and on and on about. This is a topic that I haven't really been able to like extrapolate on in these live videos. I think relationships are just very, very interesting with the and people that aren't able to have relationships like I was, like, or that have a hero complex or a need to be needed, or are super, super needy, you know, or how they sabotage themselves in the relationship. There's just a massive amount of relationships that people are being torn apart by every day. And it's ruined. I mean, we are all relationship people. You're human, so you're a relationship person. So you like relationships. And I really cared about people. I wanted to help people. I wanted to be in a great relationship. I wanted to have an incredible relationship. But every single time I get into a relationship with a girl, and guess what it was? It was the same exact relationship. They were like amoebas. They just like came, they'd be there for a year, and then it would just blow up. You know, every month there'd be this huge fight. And then every single relationship, I had like 4 girlfriends, let's call them. And every one of them was exactly the same. They were just exactly the same. It was the same cookie cutter program. They were all the same girl. I was the common denominator, so I knew that I needed to go to work on me, so I did. I hired a relationship coach, which was weird, and I still talk with him. I think it was one of the best things that I ever did. I think if you really believe in something like that, if I'll take care of me for you, will you take care of you for me? That's a good relationship. But if you think that you're going to solve her need, or you're going to solve his need, or they're going to solve, or he's going to solve your need, or you get what I'm saying, then eventually that one of you is going to get tired because you've been carrying the other person. In romantic relationships or in platonic relationships, it doesn't matter. One of the ways that the guy that I started talking to, he was like, do you hear yourself when you're explaining these girls to me? I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, do you know the 4 footprints in the sand? I was like, you're talking about the biblical, like the Jesus thing? He goes, yeah. So basically there's 4 footprints in the sand, and then there's 2 footprints, and the man goes, Jesus, why did you leave me? And Jesus goes, and I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual anyway, the lesson's still there. And Jesus goes, I didn't lead you, I was carrying you. So the guy that I'm sitting there talking with goes, you aren't Jesus, and you're gonna drop the next girl that comes on board if you keep acting like this. And I was like, bam, like, confronted me hard. And it took a lot of that. Like it was hard to take that, but at the same time, like, mind blown. Everything started getting better from then on. Kept on working on it. That was just the first chip off of the rock, let's say. Scott, you have too much fat. I like that emoji. Truth. Thanks, man. Joanne, I like that. I like that. I'll take care of me for you. You can't hold yourself responsible for anyone else's happiness, and you can't make anyone else responsible for your happiness. Yeah, I mean, I got into you want to know what my advice is? I get into guilt hard. You wanna hook me? Grab my guilt. You know, I come from a family. They got a PhD in guilt because I grew up in a really religious home. Most religions are kind of based on guilt at this point. I know I'm kind of getting to a religion thing here, so I'm not trying to be judgy, but like a lot of religion is based on guilt instead of being based on grace. Grace be what you're going for. Look up the definition of grace. Like, I think a life full of grace is what you're looking for, not a life full of guilt. Guilt is like, I couldn't make this person happy and I feel all guilty because it wasn't enough to make her happy. I've done a lot of that. That's ridiculous. I'm not responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your happiness. You're not responsible for my happiness. I am. And if, let's say, anger. If I get angry, you're not responsible for my anger. I'm responsible for my anger. This is on me, not on you. You know, if you get angry at me, that's on you. That's not on me, right? Where do you meet these amoebas? Dude, if you're needy enough, or you have a needy, if you have a need to be needed, or you're needy enough, you're just like a magnet drawn to each other. You know, you go to the meat market downtown, and if you're needy enough, right into you. The two neediest people at the bar, they meet because they push everybody else away. Not only, so there's two things happening. I know. I know you're kidding, man, but man, like you got me rolling on this. So two needy people. You know, any cool person that walks up and talks to this really needy girl, any cool guy that comes up and talks to this girl is going to be like, dude, I'm out. This girl sucks. That need to be needed dude, though, he'll push all the girls away in the same way that she's pushing all the guys away, and they end up attracting each other anyway. It's not foo-foo nonsense. It's just they end up just finding each other. And then they're blissful until he gets tired or she gets tired of supplying the need, of helping the need. And then he drops her or she drops him. And then they go, why did you do this to me? You said you'd always make me happy. And it's bullshit. And then he feels guilty, so he gets back in a relationship. They do that for 15 years, have 2 kids, get a divorce, and then they move on. It sounds kind of cynical. I don't mean it. I don't mean it to. But I'm basically describing my relationships up to this point. Only take the marriage. Let's get back to self-talk. Sorry, guys. Dump that one on you. So negative or positive? Are you saying nice stuff to yourself, or are you saying negative stuff to yourself? You know, the way that I confront that is I say, hey, can you stop for a sec? I don't like it when people are mean to those that I care about. And right now you're not being very nice to you. So please stop. You know, that's the way that I get it across to people, because I want to confront them on it so that they know that they're asking about themselves, but also what's the judgment of the statement? Is the statement negative, or is it positive, or is it neither? Is it just an objective statement? And most of the time I think it's an objective statement. I don't think that things are always going to be one or the other. Some people are like, you got to be positive all the time, positive all the time, positive all the time, positive all the time. You know, like, it's kind of how you judge the scenario. Like, are you taking the compliment? Are you taking the statement? Are you taking the question as negative or a positive? You know, how much do you weigh? It's not a negative or a positive. Why are you judging the question? Don't judge the statement, you know? how much do you weigh is silly. You know, when people tell me that I'm immature, thank you. Thank you. When a long time ago, or a lot of people do this, if you think that, if your view of you is that you're ugly and someone says how pretty you are, you're going to either think they're lying to you, or you're going to think they're manipulating, or they're trying to be mean, or something like that. You know what I mean? When really they probably do think that you look pretty. Why are you judging that statement? Take it. Take it as a compliment that it is. Be nice to yourself. Talk to yourself in nice ways. You know, self-talk is a real thing. Some people don't think that they have a dialogue going on inside their minds. You are constantly in communication with yourself. Because really everything that you know is going on between your ears. Everything that I've experienced in my life is only going on right here. Everything that you've ever experienced in your life is going on within your 2 ears. You are in a situation, you're filtering it through your filter, and you're constantly creating this dialogue all the time. And is the dialogue saying, I can't, I suck, I'm awesome, I'm terrible? What is the dialogue? You know, like how many times have you met somebody that you say, they're so full of themselves, they're such a narcissist, they're such an asshole, nobody loves them as much as they love them. Is that because of them, or is that your reaction to them? Because really, it's got to be your reaction to them. And what is that telling you about you and what you think about yourself? That's telling you that you don't think of yourself enough to do what they're doing. You know, they think too much of themselves. That's actually you saying, I don't think that I'm enough. I'm scared that I'm not enough, so I'm going to hate on that guy. So you got to listen to those things. So self-talk is just as much acknowledging what you're saying to yourself, not judging it for what it is, but trying to find, objectively looking at that statement, what is being said. It's an extremely important thing, and it's an internal game. It's not an external game. The answers will not find you in the external. You're not going to buy something. I have a friend who's extremely successful online entrepreneur. I think the last time I talked to him, I think he had $12 million just sitting in the bank. And he had over $1 million sitting in the bank when he was like 26 or 27, something crazy like that. One of the last times that we were really hanging out, he had just broken up with his girlfriend, and he was like, dude, I bought a new car every 2 weeks. I can't stop. And then I'm back to feeling like this again. Because he had this needy relationship going on with this girl. This girl drops him because he was so needy. And then like crap, so he goes out and buys a car to try to solve his problems externally. So the girlfriend is external, the car is external. He's trying to solve all his problems externally. When really he had an internal problem. It doesn't matter how many cars he bought. I mean, he had a Range Rover, and then he had it was a pretty sweet car, but it was like this convertible sports car. Then he had another car, and then he had another car. He was listing them all up. He kept on taking them back, and then getting new ones, and then taking them back and getting new ones. He was looking for an external validation. Validation, enlightenment, love, happiness, all these things, they do not exist outside of us. We have to cultivate inside of us. That's the unicorn. That's what you want to create. You are the fucking unicorn, but you've got to go get it. Safety, worth, love, and happiness, fulfillment, they're an internal game. Okay? It doesn't matter. Jim Carrey has a pretty decent explanation of this, the way that he communicates. I don't remember how he does it, but he says something about, I hope that everybody gets their goals, their wishes, their desires, so that they can realize that that wasn't the answer. So when you so if you're a millionaire or have a six-pack or have huge muscles or whatever it is, you're going to get that thing, and then it's going to wear off. You know, I did this with sports. I would win a big game, win a big wrestling match, do something awesome, score the touchdowns, you know, and it was awesome. It was on this huge high for about a week, and then it was just like back to normal. Went back to school, still no girl wanted to talk to me, still everything that I wanted wouldn't happen, other than I got to score touchdowns on Friday nights. And this happens a lot. So how are you playing this out in your mind? Because how you play this out in your mind, how you talk to yourself is going to be what ends up becoming in reality. So we're coming up on that half-hour mark. I kind of went all over the place with you guys. None of this was clear. In my notes, it's extremely clear, surprisingly. Not really, but it's extremely clear. Can you guys read that? in my notes is not too bad, but self-talk, you can choose to take a compliment from outside as a positive or as a negative. You get the choice. Or you can look at it objectively and say, is it a positive or a negative? You can choose to say nice things to yourself. You can choose to say positive things to yourself. You can choose to rise up from the lingo that is going on, and the dialogue that's going on inside you. And you can choose whether it was a good or a bad. So if you, let's say you do say something negative, are you gonna sit around and beat yourself up over that for a long time? Oh no, I said, the new one that a lot of people are saying is I have to go work out this afternoon. And they'll change that around to I get to go work out this afternoon. I think this is good. I think this is a very good thing. This is a very positive thing to do. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't do this. Because that can build some gratitude. I get to do it. I'm grateful that I have the ability, the means to go work out because I can pay for it. The means to go work out because I can talk and move my arms. You know, I think that's a good thing, but at the same time, are you gonna sit around, let's say you do say, I have to go work out, are you gonna beat yourself up over that? Or are you gonna say, are you gonna acknowledge it and learn as much as you can from it and then move on? Because that's what you do when you make an error. You acknowledge, you learn as much as you possibly can, and then it's a 3-step process and you have to move on. Otherwise you just sit there and let it ruin you. So, big things. Judgment of the statement is more important than whether it's negative or positive. You have to look objectively at that. You have to acknowledge what's going on and acknowledge what the inner dialogue is, and then to challenge it if it's not what you want. And then you have to, what was the other thing? Anyway, I lost my train of thought there. I don't even know where I was. See where I went? I'm all over the place, guys. But the world is not going to do any of this for you. Loving you, safety, validation, enlightenment, fulfillment, all that stuff, you're not going to find that in the external. It's an internal game. Your life purpose is within. And if you're going to live your life purpose and you're going to become an incredible, you have to create all of it on your own. You have to create your own sunshine. Like it's raining right now. I can still be happy. Who said that rainy days make you sad? That's bullshit. You can see the rainbow. There's no real rainbows in sight right now. But I got a rainbow in me. You know, that's how you guys can make all the gay jokes you want off of that. But be the unicorn. Create your own unicorn. You become your own unicorn. You become the anomaly. The anomaly is having an incredible life. It's going to give you a goddamn thing. It's going to chew you to pieces. It's going to eat you up. No one's going to love you, so you got to do it for yourself. It's extremely important. Internal that you want in here, everything's found, or everything that you want in here is found in the internal, not in the external. But thanks for being here, guys. We're gonna shut the video off pretty soon. I'm not seeing that emoji, Scott, with the unicorn. But if you guys want some of these, Scott, I know you do. I know you want some of these leggings. They say this is on the calf. So we got these new leggings in. So this is on the calf. It might be mirrored for you guys. These are the women's shirts that just came in. We'll have it. The dudes line is coming in soon. But this way, they're mirrored so that when you look in the mirror in the morning or before your workout, you can ask yourself the 2 questions. Am I going to be all in, or am I going to be afraid that I'm not enough? And then we got the Lift Like a Girl shirts on. I'm really excited about these. If you guys want these, they're going to be $20 for the t-shirts, and I think it's $60 for leggings. But since it's the first time that we've had leggings, we're taking $10 off for each one, so it's actually $50. But thank you guys for here. I really appreciate it. This is a weird one to try to put off. Thanks, Rach. This was a weird one to try to talk about. I think I was way too pumped up for it, and then we went off on a relationship tangent. So anytime you guys are off of this, I'm more than happy to do that. I'd love in this seat right beside me and do kind of an interview style at some point, especially if you are a great gym person. Rainbows and unicorns, love it. All right, thanks guys. I'm gonna sign off, otherwise I'll be here all day. But I super appreciate it. It means a lot. Thanks.